Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Aruna Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva.
Om Sri Sai Ram. Welcome all on this webcast from Girisha Yoga Foundation. Wishing you all a very happy MAHASHIVARATHRI 2021 and welcome you all once again to this beautiful program. Today I will be chanting Shri Rudram Namakam, followed by a beautiful meditation. Thank you very much. Om Sri Sai Ram, Om Namah Shambhave, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Gananatvam Ganapatikum Bhavamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrinvanno Dibisidasadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebirvajinivate Dinama Vitrayavato Ganeshaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya Om Namaste Rudramanyavauto Daishave Namaha Namaste Astu Danvane Bahubhyamutate Namaha Ya Daishu Shivatama Shivam Bhabuvate Danuhum Shiva Sharabhya Yatavatayano Rudra Mridaya Yate Rudra Shiva Tanura Gora Papakashini Tayanastanuva Shantamaya Girisham Tabichakashi Yamisham Girishanta Haste Bivarshastave Shivam Giritratam Kurumahi Gumsihi Purusham Jagatam Shivena Vachasatva Girisha Chavadamasim Yadanas Sarvamidjagadayakshmagam Sumana Asatam Adyavochadadi Bhakta Pratamo Daivyo Bishakam Aigascha Sarvan Jambayan Sarvashayatu Danyam Asavyastamro Arunauta Babrusu Mangalaha Ye Che Magam Rudra Avito Dikshu Sahasrasho Vaishagum Heda Irmahe Asavyo Vasarpati Nilagrevo Vilohitaha Utainam Gopa Adrishan Adrishan Daharyaham Utainam Vishwa Bhutani Sadrishto Mrudayatinaha Namo Astu Nilagrivaya Sahasrakshaya Midushe Ato Ye Asya Satvanoham Tebhyo Karannamaham Pramunchadan Vanasvamubayorartniyorjam Yashchate Hasta Ishabapparata Bhagavo Vapam Avadatyadanaspagam Sahasrakshashate Shudem Nishirya Shalyanam Mukha Shivonas Sumana Bhavam Vijyam Danukapardino Vishalyo Banavagam Utam Aneshanyasyeşava aburasya nishangatihi Yate hetirmiduštamahaste babovate danum Tayasman vishvataspama yakshmaya paribhujam नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नातताय दृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अतो य इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निदेहितम् नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्रयंबकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। नमो हिरण्यबाहवे सेनान्ये दिशां च पतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः सस्पिञ्जराय द्विषीमते पत्तीनां पतये नमो नमो बब्दुषाय विव्याधिनेन्नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतिने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेत्यै जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय ददाविणे क्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्त्याय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय स्तपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिवस्कृताय औषधीनां पतये नमो नमः उच्चैर्घोषाय क्रन्दयते पत्तीनां पतये नमो नमः कृत्स्नवीताय धावते सत्त्वनां पतये नमः नमः सहमानाय निव्याधिन आव्याधिनीनां पतये नमो नमः ककुबाय निषङ्गिने स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमो निषङ्गिन इषुधिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते स्थायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेरवे परिचरायारण्यानां पतये नमो नमः सृकाविभ्यो जिगागं सद्भ्यो मुष्णतां पतये नमो नमो सिमद्भ्यो नक्तञ्चरभ्य प्रकृन्तानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीषिने गिरिचराय कुलुञ्जानां पतये नमो नमः इषुमद्भ्यो धन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिददानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयच्छद्भ्यो विसृतभ्यश्च वो नमो नमोऽस्यभ्यो विद्यद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वपद्भ्यो जाग्रद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तिष्ठद्भ्यो दावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः अश्वेभ्यो अश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नम आव्याधिनीभ्यो विविद्यन्तेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगणाभ्यस्त्रिगम्हदेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपदिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपदिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानीभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः क्षत्रुभ्यः सङ्ग्रहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तक्षभ्यो रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जिष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः इषुकृद्भ्यो धन्वकृद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यश्वणिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः श्वभ्यश्वपदिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च शितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च व्युप्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च शतधन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च शिपिभिष्टाय च नमो मीडुष्टमाय चेषुमते च नमो ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षेयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृद्वने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आशवे चाजिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शीभ्याय च नमः ऊर्म्याय चावस्मन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च द्वीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय चापरजाय च नमो मध्यमाय चापगल्भाय च नमो जगन्याय च बुध्न्याय च नमः सोऽध्याय च प्रतिसर्जाय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः ऊर्वर्याय च कल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय चावसान्द्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्ष्याय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेनाय चाशुरताय च नमः शूराय चावभिन्दते च नमो वर्मिणे च वरूतिने च नमो भिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो धुन्दुभ्याय चाहनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रमृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिने चेषु दिमते च नमः स्तीक्ष्णेशवे चायुधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुदन्वने च नमः स्तृप्त्याय च पत्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीप्त्याय च नमः सूद्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय च वट्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च वर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युप्त्याय च नमः ईर्द्रियाय च दप्त्याय च नमो वाप्त्याय च रेश्मियाय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च ॐ हर 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 नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शङ्गाय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वदाय च दूरे वदाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयो भवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमस्तीर्थ्याय च कूल्याय च नमः पार्याय च वाद्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोत्तरणाय च नमः आधार्याय च लाभ्याय च नमः षष्प्याय च वेन्द्याय च नमः सिकत्याय च प्रवाह्याय च नम इरण्याय च प्रभत्याय च नमः किगुंचिलाय च क्षयणाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो गोष्ट्याय च गृह्याय च नमस्तल्प्याय च गेह्याय च नमः काट्याय च गह्वरेष्टाय च नमो हृदयाय च निवेष्ट्याय च नमः पागुंसव्याय च रजस्याय च नमः शुष्क्याय च हरिप्त्याय च नमो लोप्त्याय चोलप्त्याय च नमः ऊर्व्याय च सोर्व्याय च नमः पर्ण्याय च पर्णशब्दाय च नमो पगुरमाणाय चाभिघ्नते च नमः आकिद्दते च प्रकिद्दते च नमो वक्किरिकेभ्यो देवानागम् हृदयेभ्यो नमो विक्षीणकेभ्यो नमो विचिन्वत्केभ्यो नम आनीर्हतेभ्यो नम आमीवत्केभ्यः द्रापे अन्धसस्पते दरिद्रन्नीललोहिता मेषां पुरुषाणामेषां पशूनां माभेर्मारोमो एषां किञ्चनाममत या ते रुद्र शिवा तनो शिवा विश्वाह बेशजी शिवा रुद्रस्य बेशजी तया नो मृड जीवसे हिमागं रुद्राय तवसे कपर्दिने क्षयद्वीराय प्रवरामहे मतिम् यदा नश्यमसद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरम् मृडानो रुद्रोतनो मयस्कृते क्षयद्वीराय नमसा विधेमते यच्चञ्च योश्च मनुराय जेपिता तदश्यामतव रुद्रप्रणीतौ मानो महान्तमुत मानो अर्भकं मान उक्षं तमुत मान उक्षितम् मानो वदीहि पितरं मोत्तमातरं प्रियामानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीरिषः मानस्तोके तनये मान आयुषी मानो गोषु मानो अश्वेषु रीरिषः वीरान्मानो रुद्रभामितो वदिर्हविष्मन्तो नमसा विधेमते आरात्ते गोग्न उत पूरुषग्ने क्षयद्वीराय सुम्नमस्मेते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अधि च देव बृह्यदा च नः शर्म यच्चद्विबर्हाः सुहिश्रुतं गर्तसदं युवानं मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम् मृडा चरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निव बन्तु सेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्वृणक्तु परित्वेषस्य दुर्मतिरगायोः अवस्थिरामगवद्यस्तनुष्वमीड्वस्तोकायतनयाय मृडय मीडुष्टमशिवतमशिवो नः सुमना भव परमे वृक्ष आयुधन्निदाय कृत्तिं वसान आचर पिनाकं बिभ्रदागहे विकिरिद विलोहित नमस्ते अस्तु भगवः यास्ते सहस्रगं हेतयोन्यमस्मन्निव बन्धु ताः सहस्राणि सहस्रदा बाहुवोस्तव हेतयः तासामीशानो भगवः पराचीना मुखाकृते सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अधिभूम्यां तेषागं सहस्रयोजने वदन्वानि तन्मसे अस्मिन् महत्यर्नवे अन्तरिक्षे भवा अधि नीलग्रीवाश्चितिकण्ठाः शर्वा अधः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवाश्चितिकण्ठादिवगुं रुद्र उपष्टिताः ये वृक्षेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानामधिपतयो विशिखासक्कपर्दिनः ये अन्येषु विविद्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान् ये पतां पतिरक्षय ऐलभृदायब्जुदः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति सृकावन्तो निषङ्गिनः य एतावन्तश्च भूयागंसश्च दिशो रुद्रावितस्थिरे तेषागं सहस्रयोजने वदन्वानि तन्मसे नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्यां ये अन्तरिक्षे ये दिवि येषां मन्नं वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचीर्दश दक्षिणा दश प्रतीचीर्दशोदीचीर्दशोर्ध्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृडयं तु तेयं द्विष्मो यश्च नो द्वेष्टितं भोजं वेददामि त्रयम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव वन्दनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नौ यो अप्सु य औषधीषु यो रुद्रो विश्वा भुवनादिवेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु एते सहस्रमयुतं पाशां मृत्योमर्त्याय हन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वानवयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा प्राणानां ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्येन्नाप्यायस्व नमो रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि तमुष्टुह्यस्विषुः सुदन्वायो विश्वस्य क्षयति भेषजस्य यक्ष्वामहे सौ मनसाय रुद्रं नमो बिर्देवमसुरं दुवस्य Ayam me hasto Bhagavan, ayam me Bhagavattarah, ayam me Vishvabeshajoyagam Shiva Vimarshanah. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yadaksharapadabhrashtam matrahinam tu yadbhavet tatsarvam shamyatam deva narayana namostute. Visarga bindu matrani padapadaksharaani cha nyunyani cha diriktani kshamasvasa ishvaram anyataksharanam nastik tvameva ksharanam mama. Aparad. First name. Yadaksharapadabhrashtam matrahinam tu yadbhavet tatsarvam shamyatam deva narayana namostute. Visarga bindu matrani padapadaksharaani cha nyunyani cha diriktani kshamasvasa ishvaram aparada sahasrani kriyamte aharnisham maya dasoyamiti mamatva kshamasvasa ishvaram anyataksharanam nastik tvameva ksharanam mama tasmat karunya bhavena raksha rakshasa ishvaram. Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Sai Ishwararpanamastu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Bhola Bhagwan Shri 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 Satya Sai Babaji ki Jai. Jai Bolo Bhagavan Shri Shirdi Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Bolo Bhole Baba ki Jai. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Sri Sai Ram. Welcome to this beautiful Omkar Turiya meditation presented to you by GirishaYogaFoundation. Myself, Girish Vijendra, will be presenting you this beautiful meditation technique. So, certain few requisites for this beautiful meditation, which we are going to, which will be imparted to you. And it's a few things that you need to kindly observe. Please make sure that you turn off all your cell phones, any timers, any alarm clocks, anything you want to, kindly turn it off so that it doesn't disturb you or your thought process is not interfered by these gadgets or electronic devices. Also, very importantly, have at least food at least 2 hours before you start this meditation or when you want to practice this meditation, anytime. So today is a very auspicious day. On this auspicious day of MAHASHIVARATHRI, please practice this as I teach you this meditation technique. Om Sri Sai Ram, Om Namah Shambhave, Om Namah Shivaya. So let's begin. Thank you. Sit straight. Keep your spine erect. Before you close your eyes, make sure you keep your spine erect. Your hands should be loose, very loose on your knees. Sit in Padmasana with Dhyana Mudra. And just concentrate. Look straight ahead. Lift your chin held a little high. Close your eyes. Keep on lifting your chin a little high until you see a small clearing in between your eyebrows. Stop there. Not too high, just a little. Close your eyes. Let go of all the thoughts you acquired on this day. Slowly, by breathing, with this feeling thinking, all your thoughts are dissipating. As you breathe in, inhale, positive energy is entering in. Exhale, all thoughts, negative energies are going out, going out. Normal deep inhalation or exhalation. Calming your mind, calming your energies. Focusing your thought frequency to the minimal level. Bringing down the thought frequency to the minimal level. Deep inhalation. Focusing your attention around the navel region, the abdominal region. Focusing your attention on the Manipuraka, about 1 inch below the navel region, the umbilicus. Here is the Manipuraka. Imagine bright energy, white colored energy. Imagining the Manipuraka energies as you inhale and as you exhale, the energies are rising from the Manipuraka along your spinal root and through your mouth. The akar is being chanted as you exhale. Once again, concentrate on the Manipuraka chakra, Manipuraka. Inhale, exhale and chant akar, concentrating on Manipuraka. Complete exhalation. Deep inhalation, concentrate on Manipuraka. Exhale and chant akar slowly. Deep inhalation, concentrating on the abdominal region. Exhale. Deep inhalation. Exhale through the mouth and chant akar simultaneously. Deep inhalation. Concentrating on Manipuraka. Deep inhalation. Exhale through the mouth, concentrating on Manipuraka, bright colored energy. Deep inhalation. close your mouth. Keep on inhaling or exhaling normally. Now slowly focus your attention to the throat region. The sound is ukar. I repeat, focus your energies in the throat region, the bright colored energies in the throat region along the spinal root. The sound to be chanted is ukar or yukar. Deep inhalation, chanting ukar from the mouth. As you exhale, concentrate on the throat region. Deep inhalation. Continued concentration on the throat region. Exhale, ukar. Deep inhalation. Inhale through the nostrils. Inhale or exhale deeply, normally. Focusing your attention along the spinal root. Now concentrate on the Agna chakra or the Agna in between the eyebrows. Is the Agna a bright colored energy, light? Concentrating a deep inhalation or exhalation. A deep inhalation. Exhale through the nostrils or the mouth and chant makar through the lips. Close your lips and exhale through the nostril and chant umkar or makar, producing the vibration. Deep inhalation. Exhale through the nostril, concentrate in between the eyebrows, bright colored energy. Close your lips and exhale and chant umkar. Deep inhalation. Concentrating on the Agna in between the eyebrows. Exhale through the nostrils. Close your lips. Deep inhalation. Deep inhalation through the nostrils. Exhale through the nostril, concentrate on the Agna in between the eyebrows, chant Umkar. Deep inhalation. observing the situation, sensations on the lip region and the in between the eyebrows, the Agna, bright colored white light. Now we are going to combine and chant these three sounds, which are the sounds of the universe, sounds of the yogis, sounds of the rishis, sounds of the sages. Sounds of the cosmic energy which is in the creation. U, is chanted by opening the mouth as you exhale. U is also chanted by opening the mouth as you exhale. Is done through the lips, closing the mouth and exhaling through the nostrils, respectively. Concentrating Akar in the abdominal region, 1 inch below the umbilicus is the Manipuraka. Ukar from the throat region, the Vishuddhi, focusing the attention. Umkar in between the eyebrows, the Agna, and closing your lips and exhaling through the nostrils. Deep inhalation, complete exhalation. Deep inhalation, focusing your energies on the abdominal region, the Manipuraka. Akar through the mouth as you exhale. Ukar through the mouth as you exhale continuously. Concentrate on throat region. Umkar, continuing the exhalation, concentrating in between the eyebrows. So let's do this now. Deep inhalation. Continuously we'll do this in one stroke. Concentrate on abdominal region, Akar, Ukar, throat region, Umkar by closing the lips, focusing in between the eyebrows. Deep inhalation. Exhale. Concentrate on abdominal region. Concentrate on throat region. Concentrate on lips in between the eyebrows. Exhale. Deep inhalation. Deep inhalation. Deep inhalation. Exhale. Shanti, Shanti. Staying in the stillness, the vibrations created within yourself, every cell, every nerve junction, every nadi is vibrating with Omkar. Observing millions and millions and millions of Omkars in every cell, nerve, gland of your body, mind, the brain region. Your entire mind is filled with Omkars. Looking in between the Agna, in between the eyebrows, the Om, a silvery, shiny colored or a gold colored Om. Deep inhalation, exhale slowly. Your entire body is moving now, coming in contact with the ground or the floor where you are sitting. Your body is moving now. Slowly join both your hands together, rub it briskly. Place your lower part of your palm very lightly on your eyes, slowly to the sideward. Slowly blink your eyes and very gradually open it. Blink your eyes gradually and look at the deity's picture, your Guru's picture, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, or the Guru whom you worship. Namaskaram. Thank you so much for attending this beautiful meditation. Please practice every day if you can. It will give you a lot of bliss, happiness and very good health. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Sri Sai Ram. Om Namah Shambhave. Thank you. Om Sri Sai Ram. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shambhave. Today I would like to share one of the greatest experiences I had. You can call it as an untold, story or an untold realities as perceived by the grace of Bhagavan Shiva or Lord Shiva, or his energy is as accessible in, his energies are accessible in many dimensions in the current frequencies of subtle nature of his existence on the planet. Though Shiva was here on the planet long time ago, his subtle nature is, of course, is everywhere. But the only thing is, your subtle nature you can't see. That's the problem. So that's the reason why we do the meditations, we invoke Lord Shiva and yoga and everything. He taught a whole lot of things to humanity long time ago. But his subtle nature continues to exist. Okay, so based on this, I would like to tell you an beautiful experience which I had about Lord Shiva, and it's a very nice experience. Many of us are having experiences, especially the way the dimensions are in the planet today. Many people are getting a lot of good experiences. So I had one of mine. This was my share of experiences I want to share with you all. These energies are available to many. The Shiva energies are available to many people, but a few can grasp these as per his will and grace. That's all it is. My humble salutations to one and all the divine beings who are watching this program. Thank you. I'm going to start this beautiful experience. Lord Shiva, a very composed, comfortable, and a still being, as you can call him, because it's always in stillness. At the same time, uncouth, wild, innocent, fearless, and ever steady, enters the scene as per invitation of Sati Devi to attend a massive yajna or fire ritual performed by her father Daksha. You might have heard about this story, and many of us have heard about this story. Okay, this is just one part of it, as I could quite recollect. So these rituals are being performed under the sun god's direct visibility as required by the procedures of these yajnas. There are several cooking stations and several dining stations too, and sort of a dining houses, different houses. It's a big yajna, very big, like it's a big party of things happening, like what you call party of today, like spiritual parties going on. But at those times, it's a massive spiritual party going on. And of course, it is completely sattvic, completely divine in nature, and it has got its own essence. Okay? Shiva in this case is not greeted by Daksha, who has always, he never liked Shiva, he's always insulted him, because due to the nature of Shiva himself, because, the way Shiva is very uncouth, he's very innocent, very fearless, and whatnot. He's somewhat a strange person, he's very strange, so he doesn't like him, so that's the reason. So, and this is what it is. So Shiva enters into the, into this yajna. As Shiva enters the yajna area, the location, it's a massive location, very huge. Sati Devi, though uninvited and having been Shiva's wife, gestures Shiva to not mind the insults her father may thrust upon her husband and her, but asks Shiva very quietly, receiving him very politely at the yajna, at the location. It's the ceremony venue, at the yajna ceremony venue, and asks Shiva, or direct Shiva, to also have the partaking of food. Little did Sati Devi know the devious intentions of the insult Daksha shrewdly thrust upon Sati Devi to insult Shiva. Sati Devi is informed to direct Shiva for partaking this beneficial prasadam or food offering at a particular dining station or a dining house located very close by. It's further down the road, the dining station is further down the road. Shiva, Lord Shiva, ever smiling and with his wild stillness and divinely exuberant strides all the way as directed by Sati Devi to the fourth dining station located for partaking the Yagnam Prasadam or the food offering for Shiva, specially done for Shiva. So they're a little happy about it, So somebody has directed Sati Devi to Shiva to go there, and all this is happening. Daksha is doing all these things. So it's somewhat happening, and it looks to be okay, seems okay for both of them, but now see what happens. But as Shiva passes the fourth house, or as he gets closer to the fourth house, as he passes the third house, he feels the heat as he enters the ambience of the fourth house or the dining station for partaking the prasadam or the food. But instead he finds an empty area. It's a big place. Instead he finds an empty area to the left side. He sees, and instead of a food station, there are corpses burning far away, a little far away, not too far away, a little far away. This fourth house or the fourth dining station is located further away from the location and is in a very secluded place or area. Shiva immediately senses that there may be a few immature or non-conducive ways of insults coming his way. But the stillness and the innocence of the divine majesty of Shiva, of who he is, as he is called he quickly emancipates and nullifies these tendencies arising out from somewhere, which are emanating, and he just ignores the fourth house completely, automatically and subtly treads his divine destination to Kailash, back home. This is what Shiva does. He doesn't take anything. It's just like the ocean which doesn't accept anything. It just comes. The thoughts come, the thoughts are dissipated, and he's what he is. He is basically stillness. Because constantly meditating, constantly spiritual is what Shiva is. So Shiva gets back to Kailash. Another important criteria needs to be observed here is Shiva never remembers the directions of Sati Devi to return back or to call on her before he even left the location. This is what Sati would have told, Sati Devi would have told Shiva, Lord Shiva, to please visit her back once she finishes the partaking of the prasads and the ceremonial things, offerings which are going on. But Shiva is already back. He's already back there. In order to keep up his self-esteem, Shiva's self-esteem and their self-esteem, in case of any insults coming from her father Daksha. So this was the idea behind Sati Devi asking Shiva to, come back, her husband, to come back before he left after partaking the food. We all need to clearly observe and infer from this particular, episode that the calmness, composure, and the Shiva's serene, blissful nature burns up all the negativity of the insults meted out to Lord Shiva. So, daily life, this is an example Shiva is showing to the world. Even the immolation of Sati Devi, as she does it to herself, is by own divine powers, which automatically immolates her. The fire automatically immolates her. And assuming a very fearsome nature of Mother Goddess Kali, as she is called. These are real stories and incidents. These untold or unseen incidents became available as when required to many of us. The real question today in the world is, what can one learn from these incidents from Lord Shiva's lifetime on the planet? His calmness, his composure, his overwhelming stability and meditative states, the stillness of his being. The insults, shouts, degrading thoughts and abuses thrown are never seen, are completely covered and replaced with smiling and amazing vibrancy and the freshness of his clarity of thoughts. This is the incredible spiritual Shiva living in us and who is accessible to all of us. This is whom we need to keep in our thoughts as he resides in us and churns his levitating, upsurging energies on us, particularly during this MAHASHIVARATHRI. I would like to share the Sai Sannidhi experiences at Prashanti Nilayam at Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba's place. After Swami left, the first time I got an opportunity to really experience Swami's manifested energies in his Sannidhi. This happened in 2017. The moment I walked up to his Samadhi Sannidhi to have darshan, and about 50 meters or so, maybe 35 meters or so, I felt a strong magnetic energy and a power engulfing me. This power was affecting all my nerve junction points, the nadis in my body, the subtle nature, subtle points in one's body. I think this is what happens to all the people who go there, but seldom people observe it. But somehow I thank Swami for giving me this opportunity to observe it more closely. The more closer I get, the more these nerve junction points or different major chakras, where these were completely lit up in different places. They completely lit up, and like lamps, like small little lamps. I started looking, completely inward rather than outward. When this happens to me, I completely go inward. But these lights never faded in me. They never faded. The moment I focused inward, they were even more brightly lit up. So this is what happened. To inform all the Sai devotees, the Sai spiritual seekers from all over the world, if you do not see and experience what Swami, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba has created in Puttaparthy, India, you have missed out everything in your life. All the spiritual seekers, you need to just experience Swami and his Leelas and share it with all the people. So I think many thousands are having such experiences. Many of us need to share these experiences. Otherwise, people would not even know what is going on at Puttaparthy. Life is going on with your materialistic life. Everything is seeming good, whatnot. Of course, the pandemic is here, but we can even wait through the pandemic and lead our materialistic life. This should never be the intention. Whatever happens, whether it's a pandemic, no pandemic, whatever is it, we need to be spiritual and hold on to the Guru's feet, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai's feet, and he will guide us. So let's make an effort to always, try to recharge our energies from Swami's Sannidhi by visiting Puttaparthy. Om Sri Sai Ram. Welcome to this beautiful online webcast program celebrating MAHASHIVARATHRI 2021. Welcome all viewers on this and devotees on this beautiful channel presented from GirishaYogaFoundation. Myself, Girish Vijendra, will take you through this beautiful program, and we'll be talking about many different spiritual things as we traverse through this beautiful program. Namaskaram. I would like to now talk about the world famous, fully consecrated and the 7 chakra energized DHYALINGAM. Though Sadhguru is not only a mystic but a guru for the entire creation, as I may inform you all, and many of us know about it, he is constantly in the yogic states of bliss, and his work happens around these dimensions. Any of his work just happens around this particular dimensions of his. Pranams to Sadhguru.
So what is Mahashivaratri? You need to understand this. In India, there are 365 festivals in a year. Yes. Today, due to economic reasons and the way we have structured our work and things, a whole lot of them have died. Still about 30 to 35 are being actively, maybe more than that, about 50 to 60 festivals are being celebrated by different people. But that number also is decreasing. Largely maybe about 5 or 6 are being celebrated in a big way. So, some of them are social, a few of them may be religious, but hardly any religious ones. Some are all connected to the calendar. Almost every Indian festival is connected to the calendar, what's happening in the solar system. We want to do something which is conducive for what's happening that day in the rest of the solar system. Why this is important is because what you call as my body right now, what is human mechanism, has come out of this planet. Most people don't get it till you bury them. They think they came from somewhere. No, this body is… solar system is working like a potter's wheel to generate this. So everything that happens to the solar system happens to you in some way. So there is a very keen observation of what is happening in the solar system today. Accordingly, we have crafted one kind of celebration and we do those specific things. So on Mahashivaratri night, to cut it short, because this is an elaborate subject what you opened up, on that day, which doesn't fall on the same calendar, the regular modern calendar date, on that day, there is a natural… because, planet is not spinning like this, it is spinning a certain way, and there's a precision to the planet. You know what's a precision? Hello? No, not precision in terms of exactness, I'm talking about what is precision in terms of the planet. The planet's axis is not simply rotating like this, it is going like this. It is a wobble, there is a wobble to the planet always. Because of that wobble, it creates a certain kind of situation on the planet. So on that day, especially in the northern hemisphere or only in the northern hemisphere, there is a natural upsurge of energy. There's a natural upsurge of energy. Oh, all this energy I don't believe. You don't. Just go sit on the coast. If there is a full moon night, is the ocean rising? Hello? So on new moon day, full moon day, do you see that the very ocean is trying to rise? Well, over 2/3 of your body is water. What makes you think water inside the body won't rise? All the fluids in the body are also rising. So you will see these things are there everywhere. Moon does not cause madness, it just pulls everything up. If you're a little crazy, it makes you more crazy. You're a little loving, it makes you more loving. You're a little meditative, it makes you more meditative. Whatever is your quality gets enhanced because it's there's an upsurge in the system. This particular day, after the solstice happens in December, 22nd of December is the winter solstice. After that, the planetary precision is such that there is a natural upsurge on that particular night in a very big way. If on that night, if you lie down, this means when the energies are trying to move like this, you're kind of obstructing it. It is not only that you lose the benefit, you could also harm yourself in a very sensitive way. All these things matter to you only when you want to be a full-fledged human being. When I say a full-fledged human being, you want every faculty that can be opened up in the human being, you want it to be opened. A human being needs celebration. If celebration has to happen in your life, you need some sense of playfulness, otherwise there's no celebration. Most people can celebrate only if you get them drunk. I will show you 1,000,000 people in one place, not a drop of drink allowed anywhere, but you will see full night, not one person will sleep, everybody's on, okay?
In fact, when I first saw him after a long time, I just had to wait for about 30 minutes or so just to go and talk to him. It was actually more time. When he called me to see him, I saw him seated on a small pedestal as though, I felt as though seeing my own reflection when I first saw him. Amazing, he was crisp, clear, and he has got an amazing clarity. Sadhguru is so much in tune with creation that his constant adherence to this nature. Even birds and animals get attracted to him for his magnanimous embrace of the entire creation. One such incident is he was questioned by a group of people whom I had an opportunity to take with me to see him, because they learned that I was going to Sadhguru and we wanted to go and see him. So he was asked by this group of people, one of them, very known people, very close to me. How is that so many, they asked him this question, he asked him this question to Sadhguru, he asked Sadhguru this question. How is that so many people get attracted by your presence? How does this, how do they get attracted, how did so many people come to you? That was the question. He just blurted about beautifully Not only, he said, Sadhguru said, not only human beings, even birds and animals get attracted if you focus on your true inner nature of who you really are by going deep within. This is what Sadhguru said. Just then, a few birds who were perching, we were talking outside, it was in Mother Nature, we were talking out in a beautiful place. It was in nature we were talking, under the trees. Just then a few birds they were perching on top of the trees above us, above our heads. They started chirping loudly, and they never let us speak for a few seconds, as though something was going on above there. So we all stopped talking for a few seconds. And Sadhguru jokingly continued his talk after that. So, this is what Sadhguru meant. Even birds and animals get attracted once, anybody knows his true inner self. So that this is what Sadhguru was meaning, and this is exactly what's happening. So this is what Sadhguru is, a very, very practical yogi and a mystic for the creation. Amazing, it was beautiful, it was amazing to feel his energies, to be around with him. It's a great thing, great opportunity which I had. I wanted to share with you, and my best regards to Sadhguruji, as always. Finally, coming to Himachal Pradesh, Bharath is a story by itself. Just after a refreshing Kundalini meditation and Surya Namaskars, which I generally practice every day, and in the early spring of this particular practice, and after this practice in 2018, I spoke to my wife Sai Kumari and inquired, what is the plan for this summer? It is just about 10-15 days from summer. Are we planning to visit our motherland Bharath? This was the question to her. She just blurted out in 3 or 4 words. I want to see the Himalayan mystic this time when we go to India. I didn't know what to say. It just came out from her. But she was a little serious as she was trying to, tell me about this concept of doing meditation, doing a lot of spiritual activities in India during our summer trip to India. The next minute, all my flight tickets and the dates were scheduled. We booked our tickets. I couldn't wait and confirm the same to my sister that we had already booked our tickets. We are heading to India very shortly. She informed me that my booking was perfect since I would get 3 days for my jet lag. Since I would get 3 days for our jet lag to be taken care of, and the 4th day, the Himalayan mystic and Shiva, or Babaji Shivananda, as he is called in northern India, and of course Guruji in southern India, was visiting her home for opening up a project in Karnataka, Bangalore, close to Bangalore, somewhere around that place. This meditation and energy states definitely connect, as is always the case. So, and we also need to remember that many of us in between are only instruments when energy connects. When I first met Babaji in Kangra, Himachal Pradesh, that Babaji had an access to the divine energies of creation, and he's amazing, I tell you. He knows your innermost thought, your innermost magnetism. You may call it different things, different energies, but it is truly amazing. It's a dimension subtler than the subtle, as I can call it as. So, it gave me a lot of, it recharged me a lot, coming to seeing Babaji and speaking to him. Also, I would like to share a secret. Babaji is completely under the love and guidance and divine care of Mother Goddess Durga. it's amazing. And of course, she has access to Swami, different energies of Swami. He's amazing, he's truly amazing. Another beautiful incident happened with Babaji Shivananda when I visited Kangra, Himachal Pradesh. Babaji Shivananda offered prasadam. So he generally, gives, he just gives a little bit of for us to partake prasadam. While partaking prasad in a group, I completely forgot for a moment about Babaji and was materialistically planning in my mind about my trip and next directions for my trip and everything. So quickly, as I came back to my own self and thought about Babaji, suddenly I remembered and thought about Babaji while partaking the food. He immediately rushed in from the kitchen. As soon as I thought about him, he rushed from the kitchen all the way and bringing in his hands, water for me to, offering water for me to drink, and quickly asked me, "Do you need something? Did you think about me? Do you want something?" He never said, "I thought about you," but he said, "Do you want something? Do you want something?" So, can I help you? This happened to me at least 10 times in the following 3 days of our visit to Kangra, Himachal Pradesh. Babaji Shivananda is completely surrounded by Mother Nature. Where he resides, he is completely surrounded by Mother Nature and Mother Goddess Durga, which is Mother Goddess Durga's abode is not even 25 miles or 20 miles from his place. Babaji, this place assures us that divinity is present in the mountains.
Incidentally, it is at this place the subtle tongue of Mother Goddess Jwalamukhi continues to burn.
Divinity is present everywhere, wherever you want to worship God. Babaji Shivananda is a phenomenon. The world is waiting to watch.
सिर्फ आप में पहुंचना है, और जिस दिन मैं आप में पहुंच जाऊंगा, जिस दिन आप अपने हृदय के द्वार खोल के मुझे अपने पास बुलाएंगे और मैं आपके भीतर जागृत हो जाऊंगा, उस दिन आपका और मेरा मिलन जन्म जन्मों का हो जाएगा, फिर उसको कोई तोड़ ही नहीं सकता. Shiva Jai Jai Namah, Shiva Jai Jai Namah. Namah Shiva Jai Jai Namah, Shiva Jai Jai Namah. Shiva Jai Jai Namah, Shiva Jai Jai Namah. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. ओम नमः शांभवे। जब हम किसी भी नाम, चाहे उसको ओमकार कहें या उसको हरे कृष्ण कहें या उसको मां के नाम से पुकारें, कोई भी नाम जिसको हम आनंद से पुकारते हैं, वो उस एनर्जी को एड्रेस करता है जिस एनर्जी से हम जुड़े हुए हैं। हम जिस भी शक्ति का सोर्स है, अर्थात इस संसार में, इस जीवन में आपका कोई ना कोई एक गुरु है, अर्थात आप किसी ना किसी शक्ति से, किसी ना किसी शक्ति के स्वरूप से जुड़े हैं, और जिस शक्ति के आप स्रोत होते हैं, आपका मन, आपके विचार केवल उसी स्वरूप से कनेक्ट होने के लिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। बहुत जरूरी है कि जिसके पीछे हम चलते हैं, ये जान लेना कि जिसको हम फॉलो कर रहे हैं, जिसके पीछे हम चल रहे हैं, क्या वो उस शक्ति से जुड़ा है या वो अध्यात्म या वो भगवान जैसी उस शक्ति को, उस अर्थ को समझता भी है या नहीं। ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है कि जिसके पीछे हम हैं वो आगे का रास्ता कितना जानता है। क्योंकि और आप इस सत्य को कैसे जानेंगे कि जिसके साथ आप हैं वो कितना जानता है। आप जिस स्थान पर भी जाएं और उस स्थान पर जाने से अगर आपका मन परिवर्तन हो जाए, अगर आप एक दिव्य अनुभूति और एक दिव्य आनंद, प्रेम से जुड़ जाए, तो जान लें कि वो जुड़ जाना ही उस सत्य का प्रमाण है कि वो जो जगह, वो स्थान या वो गुरु केवल आपके लिए है, या वही मार्ग आपका आगे बढ़ने का मार्ग है।
There are three important things which I want all of you watching this program to note and make an effort, to inform you. Please make an effort to inform all your family members, friends and relatives, those who don't know, in any part of the world, never ever to miss out in your lifetime, and to do this at the earliest. Make time to visit these three places on an urgent basis. Whenever you get time, at least whenever you get time. One is Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba Sannidhi at Puttaparthyi, the world famous ISHA Yoga Foundation DHYALINGAM at Coimbatore, consecrated by SADHGURU Jaggi Vasudevji. The world famous, the third one, is the world famous Jwalamukhi temple in Himachal Pradesh and the Shiva of the mountains. Do not miss when you go to Jwalamukhi temple in Himachal Pradesh. Do not miss to also go and visit Shiva of the mountains. That is Babaji Shivananda, who is located very close by, almost 20 miles from there, in Kangra, Himachal Pradesh, where his ashram is currently coming up. Amazing. Thank you so much. Om Namah Shambhave. Now I would like to present a beautiful musical presentation Arunachala Shiva on the most sacred places on the planet, now including Babaji Shivananda, the rising sun or the rising Shiva of the mountains to the entire world, along with the divine beings who have visited the planet and the divine beings who are currently raising global human consciousness on this planet on this day of Mahashivaratri 2021. I would like to now introduce Kumari Nalini to speak about Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and on Mahashivaratri as per our dear Swami and the significance of Mahashivaratri. Om Sri Sai Ram, Jai Sai Ram.
Om Sri Sai Ram. My humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of my most beloved Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Respected elders and my dear brothers and sisters. Today is Shivarathri. Shiva means auspiciousness. Ratri means night. So, Shivarathri is the auspicious night, which is spent in contemplation and singing the glory of God. It is said, man is made of materialization, vibration and radiation. The human body with its limbs and muscles is materialization. The process of breathing is vibration. The Atma, which is present in every body and which takes birth after the death, according to the merits of the people, is the radiation, the power of Atma. The world, the entire universe, not only world, the entire universe is permeated by magnetic power. You see the blossoming of flowers, the river flowing, the mountains, the sun, the moon and the people and all the creations of God, everything exhibit magnetism. This magnetism in the body of the human beings loses its power when evil tendencies are entertained by us. These evil tendencies are called as Rudras. There are 11 Rudras, which means that evil tendencies created by the 5 Karmendriyas, the 5 Jnanendriyas and the mind. It is said, Chandrama Manaso Jataha. Moon is the presiding deity of the mind. You can see in the world, in the universe, that the moon waxes and wanes. It takes 14 days to wax and 14 days to wane. So what happens is, when these Rudras, these evil tendencies are there, they prevent our mind to be, our soul to be thinking about God. They make us get attached to the world and the worldly things, the material things. So therefore, we have to stay away from these evil tendencies. That is why these Rudrams are chanted and on the Shivarathri day, and it takes as the moon wanes, it comes to like a streak which you can see on the head of Shiva. It signifies that when your evil tendencies are reduced to that point, you are almost on the point of reaching Godhood, and you are almost on the point of getting merged with God. So this Shivarathri, on that particular day, it is not only during Mahashivaratri. Shivaratri comes on during every month. One day there is a Shivaratri, monthly Shivaratri. So when during these days, when we are compulsorily moving away from the evil tendencies and contemplating on God and on good deeds, then we are protected to some level, and because the magnetic force will be more on those days, which will help us do our sadhana in a good manner and get our soul elevated. So generally what happens when man generally thinks that he forgets all the mistakes done by him, and he is not only forget, he doesn't give recognition to the mistakes, he is not identifying his own faults, but he finds faults with other people. He magnifies the faults that are done by other people. So this tendency is the one which puts him down, and also he develops a lot of desires, a lot of hatred, enmity and evil tendencies, which naturally covers the soul and does not make it come out, the effulgence to come out. Naturally, this kind of a soul which has got lot of evil tendencies will be born again and again. So to stop this process of being born again and again, the dissolution of all our bad qualities, the evil tendencies is what we are supposed to undergo, to do as a spiritual sadhana, and this dissolution is called, is what Lord Shiva does for us. And with his grace we will be elevated if we are doing sadhana at least on those Shivarathri days. If you, Satya Sai Baba used to do Lingodbhavam, which means that in every human being there are so many metals like iron, steel and also gold, but gold is present very much in every human being. So that is why it is called as Hiranyagarbha. It is Hiranyagarbha means it is the golden gold which is in the molten state, in the liquid form. But in case of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, who is full of purity, who is very, very, very compassionate and loving towards every creation, in him the gold gets churned within him and it gets solidified, and it, Swami takes out as a Shivalingam from his mouth. It emerges from him, from the mouth. But in other human beings, what happens is this gold, it gets mixed with iron and steel and other things, like and they get polluted because of our evil tendencies. This lingam, what he takes out, doesn't have a particular, it is oval in shape, it doesn't have origin and the end. This is what signifies the creation. All creations, all creations have forms, all creations have names. So the ultimate purpose of our life is to merge with the divine, which doesn't have any name and form. All names and forms get merged into the divinity, and that is the purpose of our life. Swami used to sing a song on Shivarathri day.
Tadhar Gauri Shankar Girija Manaramana. Tadhar Gauri Shankar Girija Manaramana. Jaya Mrityunjaya Mahadeva Maheshwara Mangala Subhatarana. Jaya Mahadeva Maheshwara Mangala Subhatarana. He Nandi Vahana Nagabhushana. Nagabhushana. Nirupama Guna Sadana. Nirupama Guna Sadana. He Natana Manohar Neelakanta Sai. Natana Manohar Neelakanta Sai. Neerajadala Nayana. Neerajadala Nayana. Sai Neerajadala Nayana. Tadhar Gauri Shankar Girija Manaramana. Mrityunjayaya Namo. Mrityunjayaya Namo. Mrityunjayaya Namo. Mrityunjayaya Namo. Trayambakaya Namo. Trayambakaya
song describes each and every part of Lord Shiva. Nilakantha, he takes all the evil tendencies and bestows you with good qualities, provided you choose to do the sadhana and make him the center of your concentration, contemplation, and also the meditation during this Shivarathri day, and also which you should carry out on each and every day. Try to make yourself, purify yourself day by day until you become totally pure to be merged with the Lord. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Sri Sai Ram. Om Namah Shambhave. Om Namah Shivaya. I would like to now request Dr. Vasantha Nair to talk about Shivarathri and its significance and meaning, as most of us tend to forget, in this materialistic world. This is a very, very, very important day, a very, very important phenomenon, and a celestial event happening every year. This celestial event happens every year. How fortunate we are, as we are truly blessed to celebrate these events in the subtle presence of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba in Puttaparthyi in his Sannidhi, an amazingly yogic presence of Sadhguru in Coimbatore, drawing the entire world to this beautiful hill town in Coimbatore, and not forgetting the glorious rising Shiva of the mountains, Babaji Shivananda of Kangra, HIMACHAL Pradesh. Over to Dr. Vasantha Nair.
Good evening and greetings to everyone. Today is MAHASHIVARATHRI. It is the night of wakefulness. There was a time in India when every day was a festival. There used to be historical events, there used to be celebration of victories, celebration of religious festivals, of sowing of seeds, of harvesting, of birthdays, anniversaries, what have you. There was celebration every day. In spite of that, MAHASHIVARATHRI was considered very special. It was considered special because on this day, the energies were available to the human being for spiritual progress. There were different ways in which this was looked at. Some looked upon MAHASHIVARATHRI as the day Shiva married Parvati. There were some others who thought that Lord Shiva had swallowed poison and had saved the world, and so they needed to pay gratitude to him. And MAHASHIVARATHRI was looked upon for paying gratitude. But the ascetics and yogis had a different view. They looked upon MAHASHIVARATHRI as the day on which Shiva was one with Kailas. After millennia of meditation, he went into absolute stillness. And this day is celebrated as that day of stillness. It opens immense possibilities of spiritual progress for the seeker. Shiva, in essence, is all auspiciousness, all kindness, all compassion, and all the qualities that can be found in any god is found in Lord Shiva. So goes the sloka. Karpura Gauram Karunavakaram Samsara Saram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayaravindeya Bhavan Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Pure, white like camphor, incarnation of compassion, essence of worldly existence, whose garland is the king of serpents, always dwelling in the lotus of the heart. I bow to you, both Shiva and Shakti together. There is a prayer which has Lord Shiva in both his auspicious and ghora aspects, that is, as the destroyer. He destroys the universe to recreate it. But more than that, he destroys all our egos. This hymn is called Rudram. In Rudram, every particle in the earth, in the universe, is flowing with the essence of energy. This is the meaning of Rudram. Whether you are high or low, the good or the evil, the rich or the poor, the positive or the negative, existence or non-existence, everything had Shiva element in it, had the energy of Shiva in it. And so Rudram is considered the chant of chants, where we learn how to be one with everything, where we learn to accept everyone as one, because he is there in every particulate being. If you chant the Vedic hymns, you can get purity slowly. It is said that chanting the Rudram can make you pure that very second or the very minute that the chant is done. We all know Shiva in his physical form. We all know him wearing his tiger skin and a damaro in a hand, and we know him having a trishul and Mother Ganges on top. Let us go beyond this physical aspect of Shiva. Let us see what is the true concept of Shiva that we are expected to understand. If we look at ourselves as human beings, we are at the pinnacle of creation. All the animals, birds and insects are below us. And yet, they have the power to know things which we today are not able to decipher. Man needs gadgets. Man needs gadgets to tell them the weather, to tell them whether it is what time of the day it is, to tell them about the seasons, to talk to each other across a distance. There is nothing for which today man is without a gadget. But look at the animals. The birds can go from one place to another when they know it is evening and nightfall. They know the various seasons. You have the Siberian cranes who go in big flocks. They just go from one region to another depending upon the season. And you have elephants who are so very emotional that they can even condole. We need people to tell each other about the passing away of a dear one. We need the newspaper to tell us that somebody has passed away. When Lawrence, who was a conservationist, passed away, elephants walked many, many kilometers from their habitat to where he lived in Africa. They went to his home and they stood there in silence for 2 days without food and water and quietly walked away. They were not given any prior intimation that Lawrence was dead, but they knew it. Why is it that we humans are not able to reach such a state? It is because we only understand what we perceive by our eyes and by our ears and by our 5 senses, as a result of which we have become evidence-oriented. What is shown by whatever we can see or hear or prove, we believe. If we only go a little deeper and try and dig a little deeper into what is the true nature of life, we will be able to understand far more and understand the concept of Shiva. If there is a black paper and if there are 3 white dots on it, and if we are asked, what do you see? You will immediately see 3 white dots. The whole expanse of black paper will not be seen by us, though it is very much there. If you look at the stars in the sky is a huge vault. But we look at the stars, we look at the moon, we show that to our children. And we show that that is the sky, but these are the stars. The sky is so much bigger. And if you go deeper and deeper and enter the vault of the sky further and further, you will at last reach a stage of nothingness. That nothingness, which is not nothing. It is that nothingness that encompasses everything. So if we go to ourselves, where we are not just nothing, but where we are everything, we will reach the concept of Shiva. It is that nothingness in which it is not a zero. Everything is included. But we can't be going there to the sky all the time. And if in this process everything has Shiva in it, we will need to look at whom we meet, whom we judge, what should be our attitude to people. Whomever we meet, we not only greet them, but we harbor good intentions about them. We look upon them as Shiva. If we have things in our house that need to be taken care of, we take care of them, whatever objects, as though there is Shiva in it. And if we carry on with the state of being conscious of Shiva, we will be able to get into that state where we consider everything as Shiva, and Shiva becomes a state of our life. There is another concept of Shiva which is very interesting. It is believed that there were 4 yugas. The golden yuga was 1.7 billion years. During that time, the population was very small and people were all in a state of God consciousness. They could live and they could merge with God whenever they wanted. There was no good and evil. There was no master and disciple. And everything was in happiness. After many years, they came down to the Dwapara Yuga. This constituted 1.4 million years. There was some disparity. People could connect to God directly. But all the same, there were some areas of selfishness. There was a master and a student. And there were a lot of saints trying to reach God consciousness. But they wouldn't succeed easily. And then came the Treta Yuga. The good and the bad in the same person. While in the Dwapara Yuga, we had the good and the bad in the same family. In the Kali Yuga, we find that it is in the same individual. Good and bad both reside in every individual. It is said that many yugas ago, people found a man dancing away in happiness. He wore only some scant amount of clothes, but he was found to be very happy. He had a spear in his hand and he was dancing away in happiness. They wondered who he was. When they went close to him and asked him, "Who are you?" he would not reply. He would say, "Get away from here." People thought he must be mad. Some people realized that he must be powerful. So they went to him again and asked him, "Pray, tell us, who are you?" He didn't answer. He turned away and went away, but remained in happiness. They said, "There is something about this man. We are happy only according to situations. But he doesn't seem to care. Whatever the situation, he is in a happy state. It can't just be all like that." So they would again follow him. Sometimes he would tell them, "Sit down and connect with your spine." And he would walk away. He would not teach them further. They would sit for some time, wait for him, and move away, and yet follow him. And as they kept following him, one day they realized that they became powerful. They also became happy. They really didn't understand this whole process. But the truth of it was that as they forgot everything as material in life, and as they focused only on Shiva, they started getting his power and his happiness, his liberated state. So they said that he is Shiva. He is Shiva, the state of liberation. It is not easy for everyone to get into that state. So people tried to pull him down to their state. They made Kamadeva go to him. He burnt him down like with a bunch of ashes. They then made a beautiful garden with fragrant flowers. But he couldn't care about that. And then they found out that his weakness he had. His weakness was devotion. But who would be devoted to a person uncouth like him? So everybody gave up the idea. But one lady sat in devotion. She sat and prayed and worshipped and meditated on him for yugas. And as she did that, Shiva tested her in many ways. And finally, she won the test, and ultimately he married Parvati. She was Parvati. Shiva is a kind of consciousness that liberates. He is forever forgiving. He is forever loving. He is forever compassionate. And that is why there is this sloka that goes, Karacharana kritam va, karma va, kayajam va, shravana nayanajam va, manasam va paradam, vihitam avihitam va, sarvame tat kshamasva, jaya jaya karunabde, Shri Mahadeva Shambho. O Lord, so many sins have I committed. Whatever have I done wrong with my hands and legs and with other organs of the body, knowingly, unknowingly. O compassionate one, please forgive them. I surrender to you, my Lord. Please forgive them. We too are like Lord Shiva. We are eccentric like him. We love like him. We are easily pleased like him. We all know the Bhasmasura story, where Shiva, being a Sulabha Prasanna, got easily pleased by Bhasmasura. We too get easily pleased. And we get angry like with a drop of a hat. We can reach that state of Shiva consciousness if we are devoted the way Parvati was devoted. If we remain focused on Shiva, the way people who went behind him, and forgetting the thoughts of everything else in the world, the way they remained focused, we also can become Shiva. So let us dedicate this night of Mahashivaratri to lose our ego, to become nothing as what one has to be when one has to enter into a zone of God consciousness. Let us lose a bit of our ego and go more into Shiva consciousness. And then we sing, Chidananda Rupam Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupam Shivoham 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 Shivoham. Let us all have a glorious Shivarathri. Namaskar.
Om Sri Sai Ram. It was in the beautiful Sai Kulwant Hall of Prashanti Nilayam, that is Shivarathri of 2009, that Swami gave me a beautiful opportunity to chant Rudram, both Namakam and Chamakam, together with about 250-300 youths from southern India and many other places in southern India who came across, especially from Karnataka. And I happened to, be there to get a chance. I had come from Gujarat, and I was in Bangalore. I had the opportunity, after my return from the North India, after a fairly long time, got this opportunity to come to Bangalore and then be with, with the Sai family and the Sai fraternity, and that way I could get this opportunity with Bhagwan. And it was at this time that Bhagwan, with his beautiful, amazing grace, that he gave this opportunity and we all could partake it. Something very interesting happened there. That I always wanted to, chant Rudram in front of Swami, and it did not take too much time to, learn Rudram and everything, because it was a fantastic, way Swami was making it happen, and we could all learn, and many of us could learn in Karnataka. See, Rudram is, people give it a lot of, benefits, but Rudram was given by the Lord himself to the sages who could see them and who could impart them. I'll tell you about the importance of Rudram chanting today. It is that, many things happened when I started to learn this Rudram, because it was all a cleansing process which was happening. And when I really started to chant Rudram, which happened, I want to tell you one particular major benefit or instance which happened with Bhagwan. But this is a divine spiritual experience which happened to me. And I'm very happy, and I thank Swami for giving this opportunity for somebody like me. But I would like to relate this experience. So before this, I want to tell you that this particular Kavi dress Swami gave me during the 2009 Rudram chanting, because Swami himself had organized this program through the youth leaders, because the saffron clothes generally create a certain sense of ambience or a certain sense of goodness within you. Apart from this, this preserves your spiritual energies. It so happened that in 2004, there was Swami who came from his Prashanti Nilayam, from his abode, where he stays in Puttaparthy, and he came all the way, and I just had come in the afternoon, and I was wanting to see him very closely. Everybody aspires to see Swami closely. But, I somehow felt that I'm like a special person. Always, we feel that we are special.
every individual is special. So in that sense, so I was a special person that day. So I just want to be very special, of course. All the time it's special bits for me. So I just moved close to where he was sitting, and I did not mind. I did not bother who is going to stop me, who is not going to stop me. It is not a security issue because you are just spiritual, right? It is you and the Guru, Swami, who are one, correct? So there's nothing else which comes. That's what I've been hearing, and that's what I am. I knew that because I practiced yoga. When you practice yoga, when you practice certain spiritual things, you feel very close to God. Maybe it is because of some reason, which is which is the power of the Guru, which is attracting you to him. A lot of things. So I just maybe in that state of consciousness or something like that, I just wanted to be very close to Swami, very very close. So I just went and just very close, hardly about 5 feet, 5 to 6 feet, about 5 to 6 feet from his chair, from where he was sitting actually. He just came in very, very gradually, very slowly walking, like drifting in the air, He was like having the sober look and sometimes smiling. Generally, he's always blissful, very happy, and all the time happy, there's nothing. But that day he was a little bit like, looking down, making his, of course, smiling, making all the gestures in the air and everything. So he came and sat there and was looking down like that. And he asked the boys, the Rudram boys, to chant Rudram. So there we go. And the Rudram, of course, who chants. And so he started the chanting. The boys, the boys who chant, and senior boys, the alumni, everybody are there, the new boys, everybody. The alumni started, and once they chanted the Rudram, once the boys started chanting, the students, Swami students chanted the Rudram. Swami immediately, he moved in the air, and he said, chant up and down, like a wavy fashion. You should go more wavy. So, like, Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya, Om Namaste Rudramanjavauto Shave Namaha. Like that, the synchronization, everything, the sounds you're making should be very more in a wavy fashion. So the same way, and slow, not too fast. Make it slow, more rhythmic, more calm. Calm it down, like, not too high, like up and down. Make it like Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya, slow and steadily. So he just gestured. And I was sitting very close to Swami, and there were a couple of people who were like behind me, who were also sitting and having darshan of Swami. They were all wondering, who is this guy sitting so close to Swami? So it was just the attraction of Bhagwan that pulled me, and this happened. So I felt amazing power of Swami, amazing, truly, I tell you, it was something beyond this world. Of course, everybody experienced it. There is something very special about this. So I just took all the energy he was giving. Once the Rudram was done, of course, just 20-25 minutes. That's exactly what the time was. This all happened in 20-25 minutes. The Rudram was done. Boys got up, students got up, all the people, the devotees got up and went. And I also got up, took Namaskar. This is exactly where the Sannidhi is now. This day was 2004, December 24th. 2004, December 24th. And that day I had to take a train back to Bangalore, and I had to travel in the night another train to Chennai. So I reached in time, went home, I reached in time, and to Bangalore. Bangalore to Chennai I took a train. The 25th I was in in Chennai. Chennai on 25th, that is Christmas Day, I was supposed to meet a few people on my business. I was more into textiles at that point of time, so I had to meet a few managers. And being I was the senior manager of the company, factory manager, whatever you call it as, so heading the department. So I had to go to a few factories, get some orders, and a couple of things which I was doing for my company. Very honestly, very hardworking, of course, a lot of hard work in the garment industry at that time. So I met a few people, and very nice orders. I was able to, I had to check a few orders too also, and then something good happened. So I was happy with that. The day ended. 25th evening, almost I got free. So I had to take a train back to Bangalore on 25th, the next day, evening, that is night train. So I think we were starting about around 8 o'clock, 8:30, maybe around that time. Not exactly clear what time it was, maybe around 9 o'clock. Somewhere around that time, 9 o'clock or 9:30. Yeah. So I just saw my ticket. I said everything is good, I can easily board the train. But I got about an hour's time or so, not even that much, maybe 1.5 hours, somewhere around that time. I said, that's great. Now let me go to a temple nearby. So from the train station, I just saw there was a temple there, right opposite the train station. I said, I have time now. I'm a little early now. So let me go. And I didn't want to have any food, nothing. I just felt like just getting into the train. But the train is, of course, coming in 1.5 hours, maybe 2 hours. So I just went to the temple, left my footwear out there, my shoes out there of the temple, barefooted, of course, because of the religious things. We always go barefooted, not even with my socks. So I went there, sat in the temple, and it was a Shiva temple, and just closed my eyes with the Dhyana Mudra, and a little bit started to meditate. I was seeing the same form, which and the same nature of his movements, what Swami had given me darshan on 24th. So, and the closest darshan ever, I could feel his energies and started to slightly meditate. I just closed my eyes for about 5 to 10 minutes, with the chakras and whatnot. So many things, which I learned in yoga. And trying to do all that, and slowly got into those beautiful dimensions, beautiful states of consciousness. But interestingly, when I started to meditate and see Bhagwan, I could see him very clearly in my meditation, and it was going on, the meditation was on. So interestingly, I felt a sudden urge in me to pray for the people of Chennai and southern India completely, and the people of Chennai, entire people of Chennai on this coastline. I just felt sudden urge, that energy of Swami hitting me and asking me to do that. Okay. So it's amazing stuff. So I just started to, completely pray for the people. When I opened my eyes and looked at the deity, it's a small temple with a hall, okay? Beautiful deity there. And then there is this hall there, small hall. I just looked at my watch because I knew when I came to my senses, I knew I was running off. I just, I didn't know how much time it was. I looked, just about barely 10 minutes for the train to start. Not even 10 minutes. So I immediately circumambulated the temple for a couple of minutes, and which I was supposed to do always. So I just did that, and then prayed to the Lord to protect all the people. And again, I prayed to the deity, that is Lord Shiva, to protect all the people, and to Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, protect all the people of southern India, particularly the people of Chennai. That's it. So I moved from there, taking Bhagwan's blessings astrally, and got into the train. So here comes the next thing. When I Came back to Bangalore. So about 6:30 I reached home. Took a taxi and reached home. So when I reached home, I just switched on the TV. My mother offered me a cup of coffee. You came? Okay, everything. She said, okay, how was the journey and things like that. How was the work and everything? She asked me. I said, everything was good. Journey was nice. No problems. So when you switch the TV on, there comes the big news. Very bad news. Of course, bad or good. Generally, this is what happens. Whether it's a bad news or good news, we don't know, but it is all happening. So when I switched the TV on, the tsunami generated from the Indonesian country or city where the earthquake had struck had hit Chennai and hit Mahabalipuram. The tsunami had hit Mahabalipuram. And scores of people along the Indonesian coast and Chennai were killed in the disaster because of this, because of the tsunami. I immediately realized, Swami, Bhagavan, what a great opportunity you gave me to pray, to take your blessings on the 24th. You are gesturing of the waves to calm it down through the Rudram with the chants. You made me come all the way, you pulled me all the way and made me sit close to you. And you knew exactly who was going to Chennai, who was going to southern India, without even looking at me. Nothing. It's just sheer grace of Bhagavan. Of course, we need to be connected. That is different. That is definitely there. We have to be connected. I don't know how many people, out of His grace, Swami protected, sitting all the way in Parthi and using me as an instrument, just a tiny instrument. This is what we are. This is what every man is, every human being is in this world. Absolutely divine. We are nothing but Swami. We are nothing but that Guru inside us. Whichever Guru you follow, you are nothing but the Guru inside yourself. This is what happened to me, and I feel very happy and always very thankful to Swami for making me a part of his beautiful mission and his instrument, especially during that period. And I'm very thankful to Swami that we are still trying to continue his beautiful work, which is of course amazing. I think it is all becoming very clear now. Swami's work is spreading far and wide. These are some of the amazing stories about the efficacy of chanting Rudram, the importance of chanting Rudram, how it can help the entire humanity, the daily life, as well as during very difficult situations, disasters, many things. So this is one particular incident which I wanted to share. Thank you, Saira.
I would also take this beautiful opportunity to share with you on this beautiful day of Mahashivaratri 2021. We need to understand that temples and ashrams are all spiritual houses of one's development, either mentally, physically, and spiritually. It is time we all commit in these. Economic activity and investment may not yield the right result, may or may not yield the right result, which is favorable to us, because of fluctuation of man's mindset in the markets, in the economic markets or the financial markets. But spiritual sources of energy never ever go wasted and carries on from birth to birth and beyond. This is what our ancient Bharat and the values of the spiritual values of this beautiful ancient land has been teaching us since thousands and thousands of years. It's time people all across the world, from Bharat in particular, invest in spiritual activities which are aimed for spiritual development of any individual instead of unnecessary investments. Necessary investments we need to do, of course, but unnecessary investments, let everybody try to reduce it, So let us reduce our desires on this Mahashivaratri. Today we see people are investing also in colleges and free hospitals for poor and needy. Of course, this is definitely a requirement to, to raise the knowledge level and to keep ourselves active in the world, free from disease and all that. These are great things happening, but this is a physical requirement. This is a physical requirement, in fact. Unless and until the spiritual powerhouses and sources of energy, the spiritual sources of energy, are not given prominence through investment, through financial investments, there will be a certain amount of degradation in human values. So this is the Sanatan Bharat, which has been, the ancient Bharat, which has been teaching this, universal knowledge to the people since thousands and thousands of years, all over the world. It was being preaching all over the world, where the whole world comes together and have amazing human values and be in tune with each other in good health, wealth, prosperity, and spiritually. Om Sri Sai Ram. Thank you so much. I would like to now thank each and every one watching this spiritual program of Mahashivaratri 2021, aimed at raising your spiritual urge, which is the most important and the most required for the maintenance and the sustenance of this world we live in, and in transforming us as we progress into Ram Rajya, which is fast approaching in this sacred land. Our next program is dedicated to Bhagwan Sri Ramachandra, aimed at uniting all our brothers and sisters in the entire universe to come together and sing the glory of Bhagwan Sri Ramachandra on this glorious day of Ram Navami, celebrating the birthday of Bhagwan Sri Ramachandra on April 21st, 2021. Kindly watch out for the latest updates on www.GirishaYogaFoundation.com. Thanking you. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shambhave. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Sri Ramachandra ki Jai. Om Sri Sai Ram. Jai Sai Ram.